Well, millions of American families will start receiving monthly child tax credit payments tomorrow. It's all part of President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief package, which passed earlier this year. Joining us live to break down what all this means for you and your families, NewsNation correspondent Joe Khalil, live tonight in D.C. Joe.
Yeah, Rob, a lot of parents have been waiting for this. Those child tax credit dollars should start to kick in tomorrow. And again, as you mentioned, this is from that COVID relief package that passed a couple of months ago. So how is this going to break down? Well, if you're a family making less than $150,000 every year, you're going to see up to $300 a month for every child that you have that's 5 years old and under. And you could get up to $250 a month for kids that are 6 and older. Now, in the past, the way this used to work, the IRS would pay out a lump sum when your tax returns came in. This time, how this is going to work is the agency is going to be sending these payments in monthly increments. Now, remember here, it's not permanent. These payments would end in December, although Democrats say that they would like to make them permanent. They would have to obviously change law to do that. And at least one Republican senator, Josh Hawley, he has floated a similar idea, but he would limit those payments to just parents that are working. Now, today, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro, who really has been working on this, she's made this her priority for years now. She talked about why she thinks this is an idea that should stick. Here's what she said.
Our position has been clear. We must make the child tax credit permanent. We have a real opportunity here, not to just throw money at a problem, but to build that architecture for the future. Use this as the moment to lift up all children.
And again, those payments would start to kick in tomorrow, Rob.
And Joe, as the president has often said, you know, his goal here, pretty lofty, is to cut child poverty in this country in half. This is a step, according to him, that will help achieve that. Speaking of, the president made his first trip to Capitol Hill today. What was on the agenda?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big visit, and he was here today because he wanted to try to basically sell his $3.5 trillion infrastructure plan. A big picture here, if this thing succeeds, it could be potentially the landmark achievement of his entire presidency. Again, not often he makes the trip here to Capitol Hill, but he was trying to pitch this to all 50 Senate Democrats because he cannot afford to lose one of them. It is that narrow of a margin. He assured reporters today, in the one comment that he did make, he said that Democrats will get it done. So let's take a look at why this is such a massive bill in this administration. They're calling it soft infrastructure. So it's less roads and bridges, more of the classical infrastructure you might think of. And what it is instead is more investment in things like healthcare, education, climate issues. There's even some immigration stuff in there. It is large. It's widespread. It could end up being the biggest bill in American history when it comes to dollars. Now, details on this are sketchy, but again, from what we're hearing from some Democrats today is that it is going to be expansive. One thing it would do, particularly, expand Medicare to include things like vision and dental. It also provides for elder care, child care, lots of green energy projects. So again, a lot of things Democrats want to do. It's not likely to get a lot of support from Republicans. In fact, we don't know one who said they would support it. We've heard from a lot of them. They think it costs too much. They fear overspending and possibly inflation as a result of this, and potentially more debt. There is another bill that Republicans have gotten behind, a bipartisan bill. That one is more classical roads and bridges. So we're tracking both of those as they make their way through the process here.
So again, two parts to this. The hard infrastructure, that's a bipartisan effort at this point. The soft infrastructure could be just a solo Democratic effort through the reconciliation process. So we'll see how it goes.
Exactly.
Your job is never dull, Joe. Thank you very much.